Homeless boy shares last piece of bread with puppy on Christmas Eve. And what happens next is unbelievable. The biting wind whipped through the canyons of Chicago, carrying with it the scent of roasted chestnuts and the distant melodies of Christmas carols. The streets were adorned with twinkling lights and festive decorations, a vibrant contrast to the gray sky and the biting cold that chilled the air. Billy, a 10-year-old boy with tousled brown hair and eyes that held a wisdom beyond his years, huddled deeper into the doorway of a closed department store, his thin jacket offering little protection against the freezing temperatures. He pulled his worn beanie further down over his ears, his breath forming small clouds in the frigid air. He was alone, a solitary figure amidst the festive bustle of Christmas Eve. His home was the streets, his bed a collection of cardboard boxes and discarded blankets, his companions the shadows that danced in the alleyways and the occasional stray cat that crossed his path. He had been on his own for as long as he could remember, his memories of a loving family fading into a distant haze. He had learned to navigate the harsh realities of street life, his instincts honed by the constant struggle for survival. He knew where to find the warmest shelters, the kindest soup kitchens, the most generous passers-by who might offer a spare coin or a warm meal. He had learned to trust his gut, to read the intentions of those around him, to disappear into the shadows when necessary. But tonight, on Christmas Eve, the festive cheer that filled the air only amplified his loneliness. The families hurrying past, their arms laden with gifts, their laughter echoing through the streets, were a stark reminder of the life he had lost, the connection he craved. He clutched his only possession, a stale piece of bread he had found earlier that day, its crust hard and dry, its crumbs offering a meager sustenance. He broke off a small piece, savoring the taste, the simple act of eating a momentary distraction from the gnawing hunger that gnawed at his belly. He watched the passers-by, their faces filled with holiday cheer, their conversations a distant hum in the bustling street. He longed to be a part of their world, to share in their joy, to experience the warmth of human connection. But he was an outsider, a shadow figure on the fringes of their celebrations, his existence a stark contrast to the festive spirit that enveloped the city. He was alone, forgotten, a lost boy in a city that seemed to have no place for him. As the night deepened, the temperature plummeted, the wind whipping through the streets with a renewed ferocity. Billy, his body shivering uncontrollably, pulled his thin blanket tighter around him, his eyes searching the darkness for a glimmer of warmth, a beacon of hope in the cold Christmas Eve night. The Christmas lights twinkled with a mocking cheer, their vibrant colors a stark contrast to the grayness of Billy's world. He huddled deeper into his makeshift shelter, the cold seeping into his bones despite the layers of worn clothing and blankets. He pulled the stale bread closer, its dry crust offering little comfort to his growling stomach. He broke off another small piece, savoring the meager sustenance, his teeth tearing through the hardened bread with a desperate hunger. As he ate, a pair of eyes materialized from the darkness, their reflection mirroring the twinkling lights of the city. A small, brown puppy, its fur matted and thin, emerged from the shadows, its tail tucked between its legs, its whimpers a soft plea for help. Billy, his heart aching with a familiar pang of loneliness, recognized the desperation in the puppy's eyes. He had seen that same look in the faces of the other homeless individuals he encountered on the streets, a reflection of the shared struggle for survival, the constant search for warmth and sustenance. He hesitated for a moment, his instincts urging him to protect his meager resources, to guard the precious bread that was his only source of nourishment. But the puppy's whimpers tugged at his heartstrings, its vulnerability mirroring his own. He broke off a piece of the bread, his fingers trembling slightly as he extended it towards the puppy. The puppy, its eyes widening with surprise and gratitude, cautiously approached, its tail now wagging tentatively. It took the bread from Billy's hand, its small teeth gently nibbling at the crust, its whimpers subsiding into soft, contented sighs. Billy, watching the puppy eat, felt a warmth spread through his chest, a sense of connection that transcended the harsh realities of their shared existence. He offered the puppy another piece of bread, then another, until his meager supply was depleted. The puppy, its belly now full, curled up beside Billy, its warmth a comforting presence against the biting cold. Billy, his own hunger momentarily forgotten, gently stroked the puppy's fur, its soft texture a welcome contrast to the rough edges of his life. He felt a sense of companionship, a bond forming with this creature who shared his struggle, his loneliness, his vulnerability. He named the puppy Buddy, the name a simple expression of the connection he felt, the friendship that had blossomed in the midst of their shared hardship. Buddy, in turn, responded with a lick to Billy's hand, his gesture a silent affirmation of their newfound bond. As the night wore on, the wind howled through the city streets, its icy breath carrying the sounds of distant Christmas celebrations. But in the small haven of the doorway, Billy and Buddy found solace in each other's company, their shared warmth a beacon against the cold, their friendship a glimmer of hope in the darkness of their Christmas Eve. The first rays of dawn painted the Chicago skyline in hues of pink and orange, casting a soft glow over the snow-dusted streets. Billy, his body stiff from the cold night, stirred in his makeshift shelter, his eyes fluttering open to meet the gaze of his newfound companion. Buddy, his tail wagging excitedly, greeted Billy with a lick to the face, his warm breath a welcome contrast to the frigid air. Billy, a smile touching his lips, returned the gesture, his hand gently stroking Buddy's soft fur. They emerged from their shelter, the city awakening around them, the sounds of early morning traffic replacing the quiet hum of the night. Billy, his stomach growling with hunger, his pockets empty, felt a familiar pang of uncertainty. He had no destination, no plan, his life a constant improvisation, his survival dependent on the kindness of strangers and the occasional stroke of luck. But today, with Buddy by his side, he felt a glimmer of hope, a sense of companionship that eased the weight of his loneliness. They wandered the streets, their footsteps echoing on the deserted sidewalks, their breath forming small clouds in the frigid air. Billy, his senses alert, scanned the surroundings for any signs of food, any opportunity to quell the gnawing hunger that gnawed at his belly. Buddy, his tail wagging with an infectious enthusiasm, trotted beside Billy, his keen nose sniffing at every corner, his playful energy a stark contrast to the bleakness of their surroundings. He would occasionally dart ahead, his small body disappearing into alleyways and doorways, only to reappear moments later, his tail wagging even harder, his barks a joyful invitation to follow. Billy, intrigued by Buddy's enthusiasm, decided to trust his canine companion's instincts. He followed Buddy through a maze of backstreets, their journey a testament to the puppy's familiarity with the city's hidden pathways. They reached a quiet street, its brownstone buildings adorned with festive decorations, a stark contrast to the gritty alleyways they had just traversed. Buddy, his tail wagging with renewed vigor, led Billy towards a brightly lit doorway, its entrance framed by a wreath of pine branches and twinkling lights. A sign above the door read Hope Shelter, its letters painted in warm, inviting colors. Billy, his heart pounding with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension, hesitated at the threshold. He had never sought refuge in a shelter before, his independent spirit wary of the confines of such institutions. But Buddy, his tail wagging insistently, nudged Billy's leg, his eyes filled with a silent plea. Billy, his trust in his newfound companion growing with each passing moment, took a deep breath and stepped through the doorway, the warmth of the shelter enveloping him like a welcoming embrace. The interior was a haven of warmth and comfort, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and cinnamon rolls filling the air. A group of people, their faces etched with kindness, sat around a large table, their conversations a gentle murmur in the cozy atmosphere. A woman with a warm smile and gentle eyes approached Billy, her voice soft and reassuring. "Welcome," she said, her gaze filled with compassion. "Come in, warm yourself by the fire. We have plenty of food and a warm bed for you." Billy, his heart touched by her kindness, felt a tear roll down his cheek, a single tear that spoke of his loneliness, his gratitude, his newfound hope. He had found a haven, a place of refuge, a glimmer of light in the darkness of his Christmas Eve. And as he settled by the fire, Buddy curled up at his feet, his warmth a comforting presence, his loyalty a silent promise of companionship. Billy, his heart filled with a newfound sense of belonging, knew that this Christmas Eve would be different, a night of warmth, kindness, and the enduring power of connection. The Hope Shelter, a beacon of warmth and compassion amidst the bustling city, welcomed Billy and Buddy with open arms. The staff, their hearts touched by the boy's vulnerability and the puppy's unwavering loyalty, provided them with a cozy room, a warm meal, and a sense of belonging that Billy had long yearned for. Billy, his initial apprehension replaced by a grateful warmth, savored the simple comforts of a bed, a hot shower, and a plate of food that filled his belly and warmed his soul. He watched Buddy explore their new surroundings, the puppy's playful antics bringing smiles to the faces of the shelter residents and staff alike. The shelter, a refuge for those who had fallen on hard times, was a melting pot of stories, each resident carrying their own burdens, their own tales of hardship and resilience. Billy, his young eyes observing the world around him, listened to their stories, his heart filled with a mix of empathy and gratitude. He met Mr. Johnson, a veteran with a gruff exterior and a heart of gold, his stories of wartime bravery and camaraderie offering Billy a glimpse into a world beyond the streets. He befriended Mrs. Rodriguez, a kind-hearted woman with a gentle touch, her stories of her large family and festive traditions filling Billy with a longing for the warmth of familial love. He shared his own story, his voice hesitant at first, his words revealing the fragments of a life marked by loss and hardship. The shelter staff, their compassion unwavering, listened with empathy, their understanding and support offering Billy a sense of validation he had never experienced before. Christmas Day dawned, casting a soft glow over the snow-covered city. The shelter, adorned with festive decorations, buzzed with a quiet excitement, the aroma of cinnamon rolls and hot cocoa filling the air. Billy, his heart filled with a newfound sense of belonging, joined the other residents in the common room, their shared laughter and stories creating a warmth that transcended the winter chill. Buddy, his tail wagging excitedly, played with the other shelter dogs, their playful barks and chases a symphony of joy. The shelter staff, their faces beaming with kindness, distributed gifts, each present a symbol of hope and generosity. Billy, his eyes wide with surprise, received a warm winter coat, a pair of sturdy boots, and a book filled with adventure stories, each gift a precious treasure that spoke of a future filled with possibilities. Buddy, not forgotten, received a squeaky toy and a cozy dog bed, his tail wagging with delight as he explored his new possessions. Billy, his heart overflowing with gratitude, hugged Buddy tightly, their shared joy a testament to the enduring power of friendship. As the day progressed, a sense of community filled the shelter, the shared meal, the carols sung in unison, the stories exchanged, creating a bond that transcended their individual struggles. Billy, for the first time in his life, felt truly included, his loneliness replaced by a sense of belonging, his fear overshadowed by a glimmer of hope. And as the Christmas lights twinkled outside, casting a magical glow over the snow-covered city, Billy, with Buddy curled up beside him, felt a warmth spread through his heart, a warmth that spoke of kindness, compassion, and the enduring power of human connection. He had found a haven, a family, a place where he could heal, where he could dream, where he could begin to rebuild his life, one step at a time. The days following Christmas unfolded with a newfound rhythm for Billy. The shelter, once a temporary refuge, became a haven of stability, a place where he could shed the weight of his past and begin to envision a future filled with possibilities. He embraced the routine, finding comfort in the predictability of mealtimes, chores, and shared activities. He helped with the cleaning and organizing, his small hands contributing to the upkeep of the shelter, his efforts a way of expressing his gratitude for the kindness he had received. He joined the other children in their daily lessons, his eagerness to learn a stark contrast to the sporadic education he had received on the streets. He devoured books, his imagination soaring with tales of adventure and faraway lands, his mind expanding with knowledge that offered a glimpse into a world beyond his limited experiences. He spent hours with Buddy, their bond deepening with each passing day. They would play in the small courtyard. Buddy's playful barks and energetic chases a welcome distraction from the anxieties that still lingered in Billy's mind. They would curl up together in a quiet corner, Billy reading aloud from his favorite books, Buddy's soft snores a comforting lullaby. They would share their meals, Buddy's eager anticipation a mirror of Billy's own gratitude for the simple nourishment. The shelter staff, their hearts touched by Billy's resilience and Buddy's unwavering loyalty, offered guidance and support, their presence a steady anchor in the boy's uncertain world. They encouraged his education, nurtured his creativity, and helped him navigate the complex emotions that surfaced as he began to process the hardships he had endured. Billy, his trust in these kind strangers growing with each passing day, began to open up, sharing fragments of his past, the memories that haunted his dreams, the fears that lingered in his heart. He spoke of his mother, her loving smile a fading image in his mind, her gentle touch a distant memory. He spoke of the day she had disappeared from his life, the confusion and fear that had consumed him, the loneliness that had become his constant companion. He spoke of his struggles on the streets, the hunger, the cold, the constant fear of the unknown. He spoke of the kindness of strangers, the occasional acts of compassion that had kept him going, the glimmer of hope that had never fully extinguished. The shelter staff listened with empathy, their understanding and support offering Billy a safe space to confront his past, to process his emotions, to begin the healing process. They reassured him of his worth, his potential, his right to a future filled with love and stability. And as the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, Billy began to thrive, his spirit blossoming under the warmth of their care, his resilience shining through the scars of his past. He was no longer just a homeless boy, a survivor on the streets. He was Billy, a young boy with a bright mind, a kind heart, and a loyal companion by his side, his future filled with possibilities. Life at the Hope Shelter settled into a comforting routine for Billy. He embraced the structure, the sense of belonging, the feeling of safety he had never known before. He thrived in the supportive environment, his natural curiosity and eagerness to learn blossoming under the guidance of the caring staff. He attended the shelter's makeshift school, his mind eagerly absorbing knowledge by the patient teachers and the endless supply of books. He discovered a passion for reading, his imagination soaring with tales of adventure, history, and faraway lands. He joined the other children in their games and activities, his laughter echoing through the hallways, his playful spirit a welcome contrast to the shadows of his past. He formed friendships, his heart opening to the warmth of human connection, his loneliness easing with each shared smile and whispered secret. Buddy remained his constant companion, his loyal shadow, his furry confidant. They were inseparable, their bond deepening with each passing day. They would explore the city together, their adventures taking them to parks, museums, and bustling markets. Buddy's enthusiastic tail wags and playful barks a constant source of joy. They would curl up together in a quiet corner of the shelter, Billy reading aloud from his favorite books, Buddy's soft snores a comforting lullaby. They would share their meals, Buddy's eager anticipation a mirror of Billy's own gratitude for the simple nourishment. But despite the newfound stability and happiness, Billy's past remained a silent shadow, a mystery that lingered in the corners of his mind. He had shared fragments of his story with the shelter staff, but the details of his life before the streets remained shrouded in a haze of uncertainty. One day, while browsing through a box of donated books, a familiar name caught his eye. It was a children's book, its cover featuring a whimsical illustration of a young boy and his dog, their faces etched with a joy that resonated with Billy's own longing for connection. The author's name, inscribed on the cover, sent a shiver down his spine. It was his mother's name, a name he had not seen or heard in years, a name that awakened a flood of memories, both joyful and painful. He brought the book to Miss Evans, the shelter's kind and perceptive social worker. He showed her the name, his voice trembling with a mixture of hope and apprehension. Miss Evans, her eyes filled with understanding, gently took the book, her touch a silent reassurance. She recognized the author's name, a local writer who had gained recognition for her heartwarming children's stories. She promised to investigate, her voice carrying a gentle determination, her heart filled with a glimmer of hope for Billy. Her inquiries led her to a local bookstore, where she learned of the author's tragic passing a few years earlier. She discovered that the author had a son, a young boy who had disappeared shortly after her death, his whereabouts unknown. The pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place, the mystery of Billy's past slowly unraveling. Miss Evans, her heart aching for the boy who had endured so much hardship, resolved to uncover the truth, to connect the dots, to offer Billy a chance to reclaim his identity, his history, his rightful place in the world. Miss Evans, her heart filled with a mix of determination and compassion, approached Billy with her findings. She shared the information she had gathered, her voice gentle and reassuring, her words carefully chosen to navigate the delicate terrain of his past. Billy listened intently, his eyes wide with a mixture of disbelief and hope. The revelation of his mother's identity, her life as a writer, her tragic passing, the mystery of his own disappearance, all swirled in his mind, creating a whirlwind of emotions. He remembered fragments of his childhood, his mother's loving embrace, her bedtime stories filled with fantastical creatures and heartwarming adventures. He recalled the books she had written, their pages filled with whimsical illustrations and tales that had sparked his imagination. He remembered the day she had fallen ill, her vibrant spirit dimmed by an unseen force, her laughter replaced by coughs and labored breaths. He remembered the emptiness that had consumed him when she was gone, the confusion and fear that had led him to the streets. The pieces of his past, once scattered and fragmented, now began to form a clearer picture, a tapestry woven with threads of love, loss, and resilience. He was no longer just Billy, the homeless boy, the survivor. He was Billy, the son of a beloved author, a child who had known love and warmth, a boy whose spirit had endured despite the hardships he had faced. Miss Evans, witnessing the transformation in his eyes, the flicker of recognition, the dawning of understanding, felt a surge of empathy. She offered him a safe space to process his emotions, to grieve for his mother, to confront the pain of his past. She arranged for him to visit his mother's grave, a quiet corner in a local cemetery, where he could pay his respects, where he could connect with the memories of his past, where he could find a sense of closure. Billy, accompanied by Miss Evans and Buddy, stood before the simple headstone, its inscription a testament to his mother's life and legacy. He knelt beside it, his fingers tracing the letters of her name, his tears falling silently, a release of the pent-up emotions he had carried for so long. He spoke to her, his voice a whisper in the stillness of the cemetery, sharing his experiences, his struggles, his triumphs. He thanked her for the love she had given him, the stories she had shared, the memories that had sustained him through his darkest hours. He introduced Buddy, his loyal companion, his furry confidant, a testament to the kindness he had found in the world. He spoke of the shelter, the warmth and support he had received, the hope that had rekindled within him. And as he stood there, the sun casting long shadows across the graves, Billy felt a sense of peace settle over him, a connection to his past, a reconciliation with his history, a newfound understanding of his identity. He was no longer just a lost boy, adrift in a sea of uncertainty. He was Billy, the son of a beloved author, a survivor, a fighter, a young boy with a bright future ahead of him, his heart filled with the memories of his mother's love, his spirit guided by the unwavering loyalty of his canine companion. Billy's story, a tale of resilience and the enduring power of the human-animal bond, spread through the Hope Shelter and beyond, its impact rippling through the community like a wave of compassion. The staff, touched by his courage and Buddy's unwavering loyalty, shared his story with donors, volunteers, and local media, their voices amplifying the message of hope that resonated from his journey. The shelter, once a quiet refuge for the city's forgotten souls, became a beacon of inspiration, its doors opening wider to welcome those in need, its services expanding to offer not just shelter and food, but also education, counseling, and a pathway to a brighter future. Donations poured in, a testament to the community's generosity, their hearts touched by Billy's story. Warm clothes, blankets, and toys filled the storage rooms, ensuring that no one would face the harsh winter nights without comfort and warmth. Volunteers flocked to the shelter, their time and skills offered in service to those who had fallen on hard times. Teachers offered tutoring sessions, doctors provided medical checkups, and artists led creative workshops, their contributions a symphony of compassion and support. Billy, his heart filled with gratitude, witnessed the transformation of the shelter, his own story a catalyst for change, his presence a beacon of hope for those who had lost their way. He became an active participant in the shelter's activities, his eagerness to learn and his willingness to help inspiring those around him. He shared his love for reading with the younger children, his voice weaving tales of adventure and wonder, his enthusiasm igniting their imaginations. He helped with the daily chores, his small hands contributing to the upkeep of the shelter, his efforts a testament to his growing sense of responsibility. He even started a small garden in the shelter's courtyard, his green thumb coaxing life from the barren soil, his nurturing touch a reflection of the care he had received. The garden became a symbol of hope, its blossoming flowers a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, its vibrant colors a reminder of the beauty that could be found even in the midst of hardship. Buddy, his loyalty to Billy unwavering, remained his constant companion, his presence a source of comfort and joy. They would explore the city together, their adventures taking them to parks, museums, and bustling markets. Buddy's enthusiastic tail wags and playful barks a constant source of joy. They would curl up together in a quiet corner of the shelter, Billy reading aloud from his favorite books, Buddy's soft snores a comforting lullaby. They would share their meals, Buddy's eager anticipation a mirror of Billy's own gratitude for the simple nourishment. And as the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, Billy and Buddy's story continued to inspire the shelter community, their bond a testament to the transformative power of connection, their journey a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope, like a flickering flame, could endure, offering warmth and light to those who dared to believe. The warmth of spring breathed new life into Chicago, melting away the remnants of winter's chill and painting the city in vibrant hues. The parks bloomed with colorful flowers, the trees sprouted fresh green leaves, and the air was filled with the cheerful melodies of birdsong. At the Hope Shelter, a sense of renewal echoed through the hallways, a feeling of optimism sparked by the transformative stories unfolding within its walls. Billy, his spirit blossoming under the shelter's care, had become a beacon of hope, his journey a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. He had embraced his education with a newfound passion, his mind eagerly absorbing knowledge, his imagination soaring with the possibilities that lay ahead. He had formed deep bonds with the shelter staff and the other residents, his heart opening to the warmth of human connection, his loneliness replaced by a sense of belonging. Buddy, his loyal companion, remained his constant shadow, their bond a source of unwavering support and unconditional love. They would explore the city together, their adventures taking them to parks, museums, and bustling markets, Buddy's enthusiastic tail wags and playful barks a constant source of joy. One sunny afternoon, as Billy and Buddy were playing in the shelter's courtyard, a couple approached, their faces etched with a mixture of hope and apprehension. They had heard about Billy's story, his resilience and kind heart touching them deeply. They introduced themselves as the Smiths, their voices warm and gentle, their eyes filled with a longing that mirrored Billy's own yearning for a family. They had been unable to have children of their own, their hearts aching with a desire to nurture and love a child. They spent the afternoon with Billy, their interactions filled with laughter and shared stories. They discovered a shared love for books, a passion for exploring the city, and a deep appreciation for Buddy's playful antics. Billy, his heart warming to their kindness and genuine affection, felt a spark of hope ignite within him, a possibility he had long suppressed resurfacing with a newfound intensity. He saw in the Smiths the potential for a family, a chance to experience the love and belonging he had craved for so long. The Smiths, captivated by Billy's intelligence, his resilience, and his gentle spirit, expressed their desire to offer him a home, their voices filled with a hopeful sincerity. Billy, his eyes shining with tears of joy, accepted their offer, his heart overflowing with gratitude for this unexpected gift. The adoption process unfolded smoothly, the legal formalities a mere formality in the face of the undeniable bond that had formed between Billy and the Smiths. And as they left the shelter, hand in hand, Buddy trotting happily beside them, a sense of completion settled over the Hope Shelter. A chapter closed, a new beginning embraced. Billy, his heart filled with a newfound sense of belonging, stepped into his new life with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. The Smiths' home, a cozy haven filled with warmth and laughter, became his sanctuary, their love and support a constant reassurance. He embraced his new family, their shared meals, their bedtime stories, their weekend adventures, each experience weaving a tapestry of love and connection that filled the void he had carried for so long. Buddy, his loyalty unwavering, remained Billy's constant companion, his presence a source of comfort and joy in this new chapter of their lives. They would explore the city together, their adventures now filled with the warmth of family, their bond a testament to the enduring power of friendship. And as Billy thrived in his new home, his education flourishing, his friendships blossoming, his spirit soaring with the possibilities that lay ahead, he carried with him the memories of his journey, the kindness of strangers, the transformative power of connection, and the unwavering loyalty of a puppy named Buddy, his furry guardian angel, his forever friend. Years passed, each one painting a vibrant stroke on the canvas of Billy's life. He blossomed under the loving care of the Smiths, their home a haven of warmth and stability, their support a constant source of encouragement. He excelled in school, his natural curiosity and thirst for knowledge leading him to academic success. He discovered a passion for science, his mind captivated by the wonders of the natural world, his dreams filled with aspirations of becoming a veterinarian, a healer of animals, just as he had been healed by the love of a stray puppy. Buddy, his loyal companion, remained by his side, their bond unwavering, their friendship a testament to the enduring power of connection. They shared countless adventures, their laughter echoing through the parks and streets of Chicago, their shared joy a symphony of resilience and gratitude. Billy never forgot the kindness he had received at the Hope Shelter, the compassion that had ignited a spark of hope in his darkest hour. He would often return to the shelter, his visits a beacon of inspiration to the residents, his story a testament to the transformative power of human connection. He would volunteer his time, his teenage hands now strong and capable, helping with the daily chores, offering a listening ear to those burdened with hardship, sharing his own story of resilience and hope. He would organize fundraising events, his passion for the shelter's mission contagious, his efforts inspiring the community to contribute, to extend a helping hand to those who had stumbled along life's path. He would bring Buddy along, the dog's gentle presence a calming influence, his playful antics a source of joy, his story a reminder of the healing power of the human-animal bond. One Christmas Eve, as the snow fell softly over Chicago, blanketing the city in a festive glow, Billy returned to the Hope Shelter, his arms laden with gifts, his heart filled with gratitude. He had come full circle, from a lost and lonely boy seeking refuge to a young man offering hope and kindness. He gathered with the residents and staff, their faces illuminated by the twinkling Christmas lights, their voices a chorus of warmth and camaraderie. He shared his story, his words a testament to the transformative power of compassion, his journey an inspiration to those who had lost their way. He distributed his gifts, each one carefully chosen, a symbol of his gratitude and a reminder of the hope that had been rekindled within him. He watched as the children's eyes sparkled with delight, their laughter echoing through the shelter, their joy a testament to the spirit of giving. And as the night drew to a close, Billy stood by the window, gazing out at the snow-covered city, his heart filled with a profound sense of peace and belonging. He had found his place in the world, his purpose fueled by the kindness he had received, his spirit guided by the unwavering loyalty of his furry companion. He had come a long way from that cold Christmas Eve, when he had shared his last piece of bread with a stray puppy. He had faced hardship, endured loneliness, and battled despair. But he had also found compassion, experienced love, and discovered the resilience of the human spirit. And as he looked towards the future, his heart filled with gratitude and hope, he knew that his journey was far from over, that his life, like the city that had embraced him, would continue to evolve, to transform, to offer a beacon of light to those who sought shelter from the storm.